pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just a few minutes of silence, please. Thank you.
Hello, Miss Al. What's up? That's good.
It's just the meeting package.
Good, I'm not using it.
Testing, testing,
Okay.
testing, testing. Testing. All right. Sorry, folks, the batteries must have died after one meeting. We gotta talk faster next time.
Okay. This meeting has been called in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act. At the announcement of the same has been mailed to the local newspapers and to the clerk of the Borough of Belmar, and that the minutes of this meeting will be available after board approval and at a subsequent meeting. Roll call.
Roll call. Commissioner Lynch? No. Commissioner Orchard?
Here.
Commissioner Shary?
Here.
Commissioner Casserly?
Present.
Commissioner Ramey?
Here. You need light on?
Commissioner Masano?
This has better.
Commissioner McCracken?
Here.
Okay, we need to pass a resolution to open the meeting up for discussion of the budget. Somebody want to make that?
Oh, yes, I'll make that one.
Second.
Commissioner Shary?
Yes.
Commissioner Orchard?
Yes.
Commissioner Casserly?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramey?
Yes.
Commissioner Masano?
Yes.
Commissioner McCracken?
Here. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, here.
All right, I'll turn it over to you, Tom, if you want to,
Yeah, I don't really have much to go over. I was here a couple of months ago to introduce the budget. The board approved it, so it went down to the Department of Community Affairs for their review. They returned it with no recommended changes. So we're here tonight basically to adopt the budget. But before we do that, we can open it up to the public. If they have any questions specifically on the budget, now would be the time to answer it before we I'll answer the questions if they have any before we have the board vote to adopt it. So if anybody from the public has looked at the budget or had any questions on the budget, now would be the time to ask the questions. Nobody?
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Sure.
I can't hear.
I'm trying to be.
So,
okay.
Can you repeat what you said
Sure. We had.
about the budget?
Right, so we had introduced our budget 2 months ago at this meeting. The board approved it. It went down to the State Department of Community Affairs for their review. They returned it without any recommended changes, so now the board needs to adopt it tonight. But before we adopt it, the public has the opportunity to ask questions regarding the budget.
Okay, and that would be for the repairs and the elevator?
That's correct.
Okay, thanks. That's better.
Okay. Any other questions? No, okay, so we can close the public hearing.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, you certainly.
What was the speed or the haste in the turnaround from the state? How did they respond to us? Was it in a timely fashion?
Oh, very quickly, yeah, actually, we had a response back within, I think, a month. So they have 45 days by law to review it, and it was much less than that. They had no questions and just gave us the okay to adopt. That's all I had. If there's any other questions from the board, I'll take those on. Otherwise, we can adopt the budget tonight. It'll go down to the state, and then they'll sign off on it, and then it'll be published on our website.
We have to make a motion for that now.
I think it was approved, so.
Yeah, if you want.
Procedural. We can do it, I mean.
Yeah, no, we have to take a vote, because I need to record the vote to send down the resolution, so, yeah, we need a motion and a,
I'll make a motion to, adopt it.
I'll second it.
Okay,
I'm gonna vote on
Commissioner Sharrock,
yes.
Commissioner Orchard,
Yes.
Commissioner Casterly,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramey,
Yes.
Commissioner Masano,
Yes.
Commissioner McCracken.
Yes.
Okay, next is approved.
Okay, the next thing we have to
you're
do,
welcome.
we need a motion for, someone to approve the minutes from the, September 5th meeting.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Okay,
I have to abstain. I wasn't even around there.
Commissioner Casterly,
Yes.
Commissioner Masano,
Yes.
Commissioner Orchard,
Yes.
Commissioner Ramey,
Yes.
Commissioner McCracken.
Yes.
Next is review and approval of the bills.
Anyone have any questions about the bills?
Well, no questions, I guess.
Okay.
To approve the bills, Commissioner
Motion,
Sharrock?
yes.
Motion to approve the bills.
Yes.
A second?
Second?
Okay. Commissioner Sharrock?
Yes.
Commissioner Casterly?
Yes.
Commissioner Masano?
Yes.
Commissioner Orchard?
Yes.
Commissioner Ramey?
Yes.
Commissioner McCracken?
Yes.
Okay.
A report from the executive director.
Okay, well, we're moving ahead. For the elevator, we got a timetable of 2 to 4 weeks to do all the technical drawings. That's almost, we're almost up to that for the drawings. And then the time, it's 8 to 10 weeks to secure the equipment to modernize the elevator. So that's in process now. They'll be looking for the replacement parts for the elevator. When we do shut the elevator down, the other elevator will be functioning. You won't need a key. So you can use the other one as a backup elevator.
Can you all hear that?
Yes.
The only problem might be, and I'm not quite sure, but I don't know if if those battery-driven, like jazzy things are gonna fit in there. They may not.
Oh.
Which means you're gonna have to leave them on the first floor or keep it upstairs, but you're not gonna be able to move it up and down.
Put a seat in here. No, you can, no, that's
So
fine.
you'll have to make that decision. My suggestion is if you go out and about in town with them,
Hey,
you
don't share.
should probably leave them downstairs and then use a walker or whatever just to get down, to get to it. If you do need assistance, you all have Mike's cell number. During the week, he should be in the building and he'd be available to assist you.
How long do you think it'll be down at?
They're estimating 7 weeks. You gotta remember, it's gonna be, all the guts are gonna be taken out of it and it's gonna get major surgery.
We're used to that.
And Christine will be there to take care of any problems with the surgery.
With all the surgery.
As far as the brick facade, they're working on finishing the specs. They've completed 70% of the specs. So once we get the specs and approve it, they will then go out for bid. And as I mentioned earlier, we're probably going to use the Newark Star Ledger to publish it. We'll get more, we'll cover a larger area that way. Plus North Jersey, this is the type of thing they've done over the years with some of their older buildings. So the contractors up there are well aware of what's required and how it goes about. Other than that, I have nothing else to report. All the units are full. And hopefully we won't have any changes.
Sounds good. Any old business?
Correspondence, we don't have any. There is, I don't know, old business.
Any new business? No?
The resolution for the elevator modernization contract is the next item.
Go ahead.
I'll move that. Amy doesn't have that on the agenda, but we need a motion and second for that.
It's on here.
Yeah, I know, it just didn't have the little boxes.
Yeah, well, why don't I read it so people know what we're voting on?
Go ahead.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Resolution of the Belmar Housing Authority ratifying the emergency elevator modernization contract. Whereas an emergency crisis due to an aging elevator that is quickly deteriorating and sustaining continual calls for service and is in jeopardy of shutting down, which would leave the residents that are wheelchair and/or scooter bound without an appropriate size elevator. And whereas pursuant to New Jersey SA 40A, semicolon 11-6, a contract may be negotiated or awarded for a contracting unit without public advertising or solicitation of quotes thereof when an emergency affecting the public or employee health, safety, and welfare requires immediate delivery of goods or the performance of services. Whereas immediate action was required for awarding of the elevator modernization contract, whereas the Belmar Housing Authority pursuant to NJSA 40A, semicolon 11.6, permits the authorization of an emergency purchase without prior consent of the Board of Commissioners, and now therefore be it resolved, the Belmar Housing Authority Board of Commissioners, in compliance with all local public contract laws, emergency purchase provisions, does hereby ratify and approve the payment in the amount of $165,000 to Jersey Elevator for the emergency elevator modernization project. Well, we have it on the bottom here.
Yes.
We did send the project out, and we did get, was it 4 or 3 or we got responses.
Yeah, we got three
We got
or four.
three or four estimates from contractors. We selected Jersey Elevator #1 because they know the building, they know the residents, and they're familiar with this building. They were a couple dollars more on the modernization, however, their monthly maintenance charge would have eaten up that difference in about 2 months. So we're still getting, with Jersey Elevator, we are getting a lower monthly maintenance charge. And based on that, we went with Jersey. Okay. Commission will come for a vote.
Want to bring it up for a vote?
Yes.
Make a motion for that?
I'll second.
Okay. Commissioner Orchard,
Yes.
Commissioner Shara,
Yes?
Commissioner Ramey,
Yes.
Commissioner Casserly,
Yes.
Commissioner McCracken,
Yes.
Commissioner Massano.
Yes.
Okay, approved. Reports from the commissioners.
Anybody?
I have one.
Go ahead.
So as we all know, it was an exciting week last week in Washington regarding the federal budget. So we got a budget that the president signed, I think hours within the deadline. It's actually just a continuing resolution, a 45-day or so continuing resolution of the current budget, so there's no new funding in that budget. So I called Congressman Smith's office to get some clarifications for this meeting as to how this would affect the capital improvement projects we want to do here. And there's no new funding in the package. But the funding also hasn't been removed. So we're in a little bit of a holding pattern. Hopefully Congress will get to work and not approve another resolution. They will approve a budget within the deadline, so we have the funding for our building. But at this point, I know we're all optimistic and hopeful the federal government would have a budget approved by October 1st, and that's not the case. It's just a continuing resolution. So we're still on the table, but we're going to have to wait until an official federal budget is approved and not a continuing resolution.
Thank you.
I would like to make a comment about the 9/11 observance that took place here. Thank you, Commissioner Rainey and Director DeSantis. It was a worthy event, and I was fortunate enough to attend. I hope some other people did too.
But it happened the previous time again with that, it didn't work properly, and now this time again it doesn't work properly, so what shall we do with the elevator after all? Because we live on the 6th floor, and it's very dangerous for us every morning.
Why is it, what do you mean
And
it's
we
not
talk
working
and talk about
properly?
it endlessly.
What do you mean it's not working properly?
So
I'm asking you.
it's okay, everything is fine, but as soon as we start, take the elevator, again, it doesn't work properly.
How? Can you
That's the
clarify
problem.
that? What do you mean not working properly? Does it not move?
It doesn't. This morning,
Excuse me.
again, it didn't, you know.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
sometimes
have to
it
do
just,
something.
when it stopped on your floor,
Right.
the door open a little bit and close, and it doesn't move up or down. It happened to me, and it did it a couple of times, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna get stuck. And so when it finally opened, I went out and the elevator went down. And that happened to me last week.
Did
So
you
that's
report-
what she's
did
talking
you
about.
report it to Mike?
No, that's what she's talking about. No, because I was in a hurry, had to go to the doctor.
Well, let me just let everyone know, you have to report it because the company is very responsive to getting a tech out here. We know what, we suspect the problem is people, the door hitting carts and wheelchairs and things going in and out. That the
Oh.
eye moves.
Oh, excuse me, I did tell him about it, and he fixed the sensor on it.
Okay.
That's what happened, yes, I
Yeah,
did.
so you have to tell Mike if there's a problem.
I
Yeah,
have a pacemaker, you know, and it's always when I go, it's jumping like that. And I really have a heart attack with this elevator all the time.
Well,
We
if it's
have
not-
to do something with it.
Well, we
After
are.
all.
We're going ahead
We
with
are.
it.
And the new one. All right, I'm gonna actually open the, for any remarks from the general public. I don't know if anybody else has anything to say.
Always
Yes.
the same,
Was there
always the
anything with
same.
the flooding that we had over the past week? Anything in the building, as far as flooding damage or things that needed to be
There were
repaired?
two units, water leaked in. So that's what Mike reported to me this morning, over the weekend.
And nothing currently that needs to be pumped out or anything?
No.
Okay, and what about the facade? Did that,
Well, water apparently got behind the facade, which caused a leak in 2 units.
okay.
You know, it's a historic rainfall we had, over 5 inches. So it really tests everybody's system. And I know my own sump pump never stopped working for 48 hours. It just kept cycling, pumping.
Absolutely.
I just had one more thing too. I have some information on the Healthy Hop transportation program, and if I could leave this with you, is there a good place to leave it so that people can pick it up? You can register and you can get a free round trip per week for free. It's basically an Uber. So once you apply, you get a free round trip to anywhere. You can call them on demand for doctor's appointments or or whatever else that you might need, so I'll leave this here with you.
Okay, how do you sign up? Do you
So
go
there's
online?
two ways, you can
You
call
call?
them, it takes about 15-20 minutes if you call them, or you can fill out an application online.
Okay.
And then once you are registered, you'll receive a postcard, and then it'll have all the information that you need, basically like a phone number, like a taxi.
That's
And
great.
once a week, you're allowed that?
Once a week, you're allowed it.
Wow.
Who's
Free.
eligible for that?
Hmm?
Who's eligible for that?
Anyone over 60 years old.
Okay, thanks.
How's it funded?
It's funded through, the SCAT had to have cutbacks.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so I think this is where they put out
Okay,
there's some
okay.
more money for transportation. So I'll just leave this with you. I also put on the bulletin board a few pamphlets for social services that's up to date. So feel free to get some information. If anyone needs more information, feel free to call me, Maria Rondinaro. I'm just right over there at the borough.
Marie, do you know, is that gonna affect our scat run every Tuesday to?
Nope, not at all.
Good.
It won't affect anything.
Won't
It's just
affect
it's an
ShopRite.
added program.
Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know about it yet because it's fairly new.
Good, that's great, thank you. Anyone else?
Because we live here already 20 years, in 20 years we're talking about elevator.
Yes, I'm
Every
sorry.
time we meet here,
Go ahead.
every
ahead.
time, everybody
Yes.
can approve it.
I just want to mention, my name is Blanca, I live in the 5th floor. I just want to mention about regarding the leak that she just brought up. That was not just a leak. I have, a big pile of water in my living room that I have to use almost 4 towels to get all the water out because I thought it was coming from the window, but it was not coming from the window. It was coming on I don't know where. Looks,
Right through the brick.
they mentioned that there was a crack over there. It has been there in the water, it was keeps running. Mike came to pump, the water out, but it's still, even now, if I touch it, still wet. And I'm really concerned about that, because really that was big. I never experienced anything like that.
What is wet now, still the carpet?
That was in the living room, by the window, in the
Hey,
living room.
Ask Mike,
It's a little bit much better, but in the meantime, now, because I use 4 towels, is the reason why the water didn't go through to the next apartment.
Right,
But
right.
I'm really concerned about if that happens, what's gonna happen again.
do you have did he leave a dryer fan in there?
What he told me is, he leave the fan on.
Oh, bad.
Ask him for a dryer fan. There's one in the lobby, I don't know why it's still going, we don't need it. He can put that up there, and that's what they use to dry things quicker.
Yeah, I understand that, but my concern if the carpet, takes longer to
Yeah,
dry.
well, that's what the dryer's for.
The hardwood. I'm really concerned about that, because now I'm afraid to step on, on that spot. So
All right.
I just wanna let you know, that was not a leak. It was really
Well,
something
he
that was
described it
scary
as
that day.
a leak.
Thank you.
Blanca, what's your unit number?
5H.
Thank you.
So where is she facing?
Thanks.
Which beach?
This way.
Oh,
I'm assuming it's.
oh,
Yeah, so it's blue,
yeah.
Riverside.
Right.
Anyone else? I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we're
Yeah, I
gonna
gotta
go into
mention
executive
something.
session.
Normally I don't complain about anything, but I kinda got scared, and I'm scared for the rest of the residents. There was an incident with 3H where the man is not supposed to be in this building, from what I was told. And he was caught climbing up on the scaffold because he locked himself out, him and his girlfriend, in 3H, and busted into the window.
What?
Went through the screen.
And,
The police
yes.
took a report, and if we can prosecute, we are gonna prosecute.
Yeah, so I kinda got scared thinking,
Well,
supposing
the police
somebody
did come.
Yeah,
else sees that, and somebody has their window open a little bit, that they can rob us, and I kinda got afraid of that. So I didn't know if you knew about that or
yes,
not.
we did.
Okay,
I'm waiting to get the police report,
okay.
and then we'll see what our options are. But if they ask if we want to proceed, we will proceed.
Interesting, okay. Anyone else before we adjourn? You have to go into an executive session.
I'll make a motion to go into executive session.
A second.
Okay, the meeting's over, we're going into executive session now, so respectfully ask people